putting the small thing inside.
Hello everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel. In today's video, I am going to show you my tried and tested donut recipe, which is super yummy. I'm going to prepare the OG glazed donuts, so I'll be also sharing the recipe for the glaze. I'm using here 280 grams of all-purpose flour, which is about 2 cups, and 2 tablespoons of flour. To that, I'm adding 1 tablespoon of sugar and half a teaspoon of salt. Now let's keep aside the dry ingredients and prepare the wet ingredients. For that, I'm taking half a cup of slightly warm milk. To that, I'm adding 40 grams of melted butter. Now I'm adding 1 egg to the mixture and 7 grams of dry yeast. I'm using instant yeast here. After mixing it, I'm going to close the lid and keep it aside for 5 minutes for activating the yeast. After 5 minutes, I take the wet mixture and add it to the dry ingredients and combine well. After mixing the ingredients, I felt the milk was little less, so I added 2 tablespoons more. So it depends on the type of flour, so maybe you have to put 2 or 3 tablespoons more. While kneading, you would find the dough really sticky, and that's completely fine. I have now transferred the dough to a flat greased surface. After combining the dough very well, I am now kneading it as you see in this video by extending it to the 2 sides and then kind of twisting it towards itself. At this point, the dough is really sticky, and that's how it should be. I am transferring the dough to a greased bowl for it to rise. After 1.5 hours, the dough has really risen well, and now the next step is to roll out the dough. At this point, we can flour the work surface as well as the surface of the dough. I have now rolled out the dough to a 1/2 inch thickness. Now, if you have cookie cutters or donut cutters, you could use that, but I don't. So I'm using a glass and a bottle lid. You could improvise with whatever you have. Now, after shaping it into donuts, I have placed it on baking sheets. Uh, this would make the transferring to the oil much easier, as you will see in the video. Now, the temperature of the oil is really important here. It should be around 160 degrees Celsius. If you have a thermometer, you could check. But otherwise, in my case, how I check is that if it's slightly warm but not very hot, so when you put the donuts, you could see slight bubbles but not very hot.
Mama? Yay. Well, Mama, can I put it here?
So as you could see here, it's slightly gently bubbling, and this is what we want. So at this point, we could slightly give it a swirl. Every now and then we have to gently swirl it around for even cooking of the donuts.
Mama, why are they putting the small thing inside?
In this clip, you could see that one of the donuts is less puffed up than the other two. That is because when you roll out the dough, you have to roll out to a half-inch thickness to 1 inch. But if it's less than that, it would puff up less. But nevertheless, it is going to be soft. Now, after 3-4 minutes of cooking, I turn my donuts, and you could see the beautiful golden color on it. You should not cook more than 5 minutes on each side because that would make it harder. Once we take it out of the oil, we need to place it on a wire rack and not on a plate because that would make it soggy. So we have to evenly cool it off using a wire rack. Now I'm preparing here the glaze. For that I have taken 2 cups of powdered sugar, and we need 75 grams of melted butter. To that I am adding 3 to 5 tablespoons of warm milk. It depends on how thin you want the glaze. So I am making thin glaze here, so I have used 5 tablespoons of milk, and to that I am adding 1 teaspoon of vanilla essence. After combining the wet ingredients, I then transfer it to the powdered sugar and mix it really well. Now here I felt the glaze quantity was a little too much for the amount of donuts I made. With this amount of recipe, you could get around 12 to 15 donuts, and for that this amount of glaze was too much. So you can store it in the refrigerator if you like, or otherwise you could half the quantity of the glaze. My clip got a little out of frame here. because my kids really wanted to help me, and I don't know, it got a little messed up. And now we just have to dip the donuts in this beautiful glaze and place it on a wire rack for it to drip out the excess. My donuts are not in the best of shape. That is because I haven't used a sharp edged tool. So if you are particular about the shape, then I would suggest to use a donut cutter or a cookie cutter for that sharp, precise cuts. But nevertheless, it tasted really good. My kids loved it. And I hope you guys enjoyed my video. If you did, please subscribe to my channel, and I hope you all have a lovely day. Bye.